that CPC means a lot to me. Will you come and see how I play Desi? If you're in love with retro gaming, come and join the board. And if you want a Friday foursome, watch him and you could. Overboard.
Well, hello there. Novabug here. Let's keep it nice and calm, shall we? Because I've seen a lot of anger and I don't like it. I thought I'd talk about a very important game, and a game that recently got a reboot, or a remake, a HD remake as it were. And that game would be this. Seiken Densetsu 2, or Secret of Mana as it's more famously known in the Americas and Europe. This is my NTSC copy, which has got a great glitch in it, which I'm going to load up and hopefully you'll see in the background happen. But I love it because of that. And of course, what came out last week, if you're watching this in end of February, the PS4 remake. Now, a lot of people have been giving this quite a drubbing. A bloody unfair drubbing, if you ask me, and I'm going to go over my reasons why, and I'm going to separate this into my dislikes, my cons with this version of the game, and I'm going to go over some of the flaws of the original game as well. But I consider myself a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to Secret of Mana. It is the all-time favourite game, not only on Super Nintendo, but one of my all-time. See, it's so good I can't even get my words right. It's one of my all-time favourite games ever. So I was hyper excited about this, and I'm not disappointed. As a super fan of this game, I am not disappointed. Now, a lot of these critics and stuff have been saying, oh, if you're really a fan of this game, you must be absolutely angry with this. No, I'm not. Not at all. This is exactly what I expected. There were a few things I hoped they would be improved, but I'm not disappointed they haven't been. And I'm certainly not going to say this is a terrible remake, or it deserves a better remake, or blah blah blah, or any of this hyperbolic crap that a lot of people have been saying. I think this is perfectly fine. And I'm also not going to say the word that a lot of people have been saying, it's not that bad. No, the reason why I'm not going to say it's not that bad is because I think it's great. It's not perfect, but it's great, just like the original, which isn't perfect, but great. Right, that's sort of opening rant over. Let me load up my original cartridge version, actually. Thank you, Top Gear. Top Gear is going to be handy, because that will be my adapter for my SNES that I've got inside there. Beautiful. Now, I'll talk and you watch what goes on in the background while the intros and demos are running, because it's quite funny. So, let's talk about the original game. So the original game, it had a troubled, should I say, brought birth into life. It was, I think, originally going to be on a disc system. On the disc system that was going to be for the Super Nintendo, which, as we all know, turned into the PlayStation, which is up. The reason why I'm gesturing up there is because the PlayStation's over there. And of course that didn't work out. So Square condensed the game down. They cut a lot of the content and story out and slapped on a cartridge. So it was amazing that it got to be such a brilliant game that it is. And it originally came from Seiken Densetsu, which was a Game Boy original JRPG. Action RPG, should I say. Right. So that little backstory aside, the original game has tricky AI. I'm going to make this succinct. It has tricky AI. The three characters, the two computer control characters, have tricky AI. They get stuck behind walls frequently. You have to make sure they go round things. You walk them round. Sometimes they can completely glitch out and stop in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes they'll just freeze and won't attack anyone, or get their asses kicked by an enemy. So sometimes you've got to press the select button to take control of them, because you can switch between control of one of the three characters. Other things, sometimes there would be a bit of sprite flicker, especially when you call Flammy the Dragon. Flammy the Dragon come down, pick you up, and suddenly your characters would flicker back on the screen for a split second. Things like that. Mode 7 would glitch sometimes, not always. My particular copy here, as it's about to do, will glitch out very soon. The whole intro screen glitches out, but I don't think that's to do with the code. I think that's to do with the fact that, oh, it didn't do it. That was amazing, it didn't do it. Well, I'm surprised, because normally it does. But anyway, that aside. Yeah, sometimes the controls can feel a bit sloppy in the original, and there's a few graphical slaps here and there where something doesn't quite fit something in the scenery or something like that. But apart from that, anything else is bloody great. And of course, yeah, that's what I was going to say. So, that aside, what have they addressed that's in the original that's different to the remake? Well, the AI does exactly what it used to do. It still does the same thing. It gets caught on things. You have got to make the other characters walk around things. So that's no change. That's no change for me. So people making a gripe about the AI getting stuck, that's, again, not a big deal. Not a big deal to me at all. And what's even better is the fact that with the original, you would have to press select to change between characters. You can just press the D-pad on the PS4 version and flip between the 3 characters even quicker and easier. So that's an improvement on the game. I'm talking gameplay first. We're going to get onto graphics later. Gameplay-wise, also, when you're transitioning between scenes, a lot more of the SNES's maps, should I say, were combined into one. So you'd scroll into another through a tunnel. The PS4 does this, and obviously the Vita version as well, by association, will pause and do a loading screen. Which, yes, is annoying. It is a bit of an annoyance. I would prefer if they'd have just done the walk-throughs, especially when you go through doors and archways. When you do that in the SNES version, when you go through doors and archways, the characters actually walk. You see them walk through before it fades to black and the next scene fades in. They could have done that with that. I don't see why they couldn't have done a transitional load. So the characters are walking into the door, walking through an arch, while it's loading up the next scene, and then it fades to black, fades up to the new. So that is a bit of an annoyance. Only a little bit, but again, it's nothing like it deserves a better remake kind of nonsense. I think the graphical styles, moving to the graphics just briefly, are going to be all over the place with this. I'm sorry, because I've watched a lot of reviews and I'm pretty much disgusted with all of them because I think all of them are wrong. So this is my point of view. So one of the most important things about the original was the ring menu system. Now, the ring menu system is very simple to use, and it's basically there. It's intact. It's the same, sort of, in the new version. Now, the only differences I can see are when you want to go to the equip armor and stuff like that, you have to go into a separate menu. What this does is it takes you out of the main screen. It didn't do that originally. It takes you out of the main screen and gives you the stats of the armor. Not enough stats, but some stats, and you can also very handily, may I say, flip between each characters and equip them all in the same screen, which is really cool. In the original, you couldn't actually do that. You'd have to select a new ring menu for that specific character to select the armor. So that's actually an improvement. Don't think they need a second screen, but it is an improvement the fact you can easily switch between characters. Also, when you're in this new screen, this second screen, when you're in the equip screen, you can flip the shoulder buttons to flip between the different menu selections, such as your grid, such as your action grid, your AI commands, your options, and all that. You don't have to go back to the ring menu to do that, which is also a bit of a good thing to say. The ring menu itself sounds great, looks great, basically does the same thing, but I don't like the fact that now it appears in the middle of the screen. In the original, it used to appear around your character. So if your character was off centre, right into the screen or something like that, the ring menu would appear there. And you press X button, and then it would appear for over Prim's head. Press the other X button, it would appear over Pope's head, something like that. And that's where it would. So you know exactly what character your menu was selected for. The problem with the PS4 version is that it always appears in the middle of the screen, even when you're pressing it for the secondary characters. So if you press Y on the Super Nintendo, I'm going by the Super Nintendo's colour codes, the menu would come around Randy. Press X and then the menu would come around Prim or Popeye. Just always in the middle, so you've got to make sure you know what you're selecting. I actually didn't realise this at first when I was playing the game, and I couldn't find the spells right. I couldn't cast the spells because I kept switching between Prim and Popeye, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, who's doing what? Because then I realised, the ring menu's in the middle all the time, that's why it doesn't seem to move, and I've got to work out. It's easy to do once you know what you're looking for, because there's a little icon of the character's face by the weapon and the armour and all that kind of stuff. By the weapon is where you would normally look, and then you can tell what menu you're in, whether you're in Prim's or Popeye's or Randy's. It's very easy once you work it out. It's only a slight adjustment. It is annoying that it's not around other people. I don't know why they've taken that away. And gameplay wise, aside from that, it's pretty much identical. The entire game is pretty much identical. The storyline is pretty much identical. You've got some nice and additional dialogue that they've put in when you're starting in, which is nice for a little bit of character development. Maybe it's some of the original dialogue they had in the original game. I'm not sure, but it's good to see that little more depth, more layers added to the characters. It's a nice little bit of comedy here and there as well. So that's quite nice. I like that. They've still got the going to sleep actions, the save points. The autosave is a bloody godsend. It's for two reasons really. A, it's really handy if you forget to save or you have to quickly switch. We have busy lifestyles nowadays. I played this when I was a teenager, so playing this as a fully fledged adult, I sometimes just drop the controller and I'm off, I'm gone. And the autosave function, great. It normally goes when you go through into a main doorway or into a new main area, it'll autosave. That's good. What's not good is the fact that I've had to use that autosave too many times because of system crashes. One of the things that I've seen criticised a lot is that it has a tendency to crash, which I was going to say it hadn't done. I initially tweeted, I think, someone a couple of days of having it after playing it. I played about a third through the game, and it hadn't crashed at all. I'm now about... I'm up to I'm off to Pure Land, Mana Tree, going into the fortress. I'm pretty much on the end sequence towards the game, going towards the Dark Witch and the Mana Beast. And yeah, it's crashed about 4 times completely. The whole, I mean, it's the PlayStation 4 blue screen, bump, gone. So the autosave have got me out of function. Now, hopefully they have a patch to rectify that. I really do. Hopefully they have a patch to rectify that. That is a bit of an annoyance. But again, not a game breaker, because it's got the autosave function to help it. So it's nothing that's going to really break your day. It's nothing that's going to destroy your day, is it? And again, this sort of thing happened. Look, I mean, look at this. Brilliant. That is the sort of thing that happened to my cartridge version all the time. So I was completely used to that. Going down. Oh, blue background's nice. So what's the problem? Now let's move on to gameplay aside. There are little bits that I noticed that are major. I mean, a few tiny little tweaks here and there that are really either or not good or not important, should I say? Not good, not important. It's a little bit easier, I think. It feels a little bit easier. I like the obviously the all-directional play of the characters, which you don't get in the original. That's really good. That's really nice. It feels smooth, runs really slick. Yeah, there's no frame skipping or anything. I think it runs at a steady 60 frames per second, which is incredible. Really nice. I suppose people will argue that it's not being pushed graphically, and then we'll come on to that right now. Now, people complain, oh, the character models look a bit ropey. They look a bit, late PS2 gen kind of thing. And their mouths don't move with the new voice acting that they've added on. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. The textures look a bit flat. It could have been done a lot better. Yeah, it could have been done a lot better. That's right. And you know what? I'm glad it hasn't been done a lot better. And the reason why, because it has a particular style. I think original Secret of Mana has this real warm feel. Great pixel artwork. And it needs to retain that sort of boyish charm. It needs to retain that sort of innocence of back then. You don't want to make it hyper realistic. You don't want to turn it into a Final Fantasy 15 or something ridiculous. You don't want to turn it into a Grand Theft Auto 5 style hyper real stuff all over the place, pushing the system to its tits so that the frame rate's dropping out all the time and the menu system's jumping all over the place. I don't want that. I wanted something that's going to run really, really, really slick and smooth, and it does. The graphics are fine. They are perfectly fine. They're vivid, colourful, there's plenty of detail going on. More than enough for me. Nice little touches that they've added. The changes of the monster designs are really nice. Brought them alive in 3D. A few of the designs are a little bit okay. Kind of imagined it differently when I saw it in 2D originally. Some of the bosses look amazing. They really do. Maybe a bit bigger they should be. Maybe I'd argue they should be a bit bigger. But apart from that, I think it's fine. I don't see a problem with it. The only things I really do have an issue with is that you kind of don't have a set when you're flying Flammy the Dragon. You kind of don't have a sense that you're flying over the world very quickly. They've lost something there when you're in the original, when you're flying over the world when Mode 7 is generating the Gaia. You feel you're really pelting along really fast, and it's quite exciting when you're flying with the Dragon. That loses that in this version of the game. But the biggest problem I really think I miss a lot with the graphics, it'd have to be in sequences, should I say. I like the cutscenes as well. I think the cutscenes are fine, maybe a bit clunky. Again, I kind of like this slightly clunky, kind of bit awkward, but still perfectly fine. Really good, you know, really entertaining. I've not disliked it at all. I've been playing this game, big smile, even when it crashes, big smile on my face all the time. The only thing that disappointed me, trust me, the only thing that disappointed me was when you go to the Cannon Travel Centre, you get shot into the air, and there's no animation to see your characters just tumbling through the air and then landing. Why have they got rid of that? Please patch that back in. Please create that sequence. It's surely ain't going to be too much work. Patch something in to create the Cannon Travel sequence. It's one of the highlights of the original game. It's really fun when you're doing that in the early stages of the game. So you've got to put that back in. Oh, that's really, yeah. Finally, let's get on to the music. Now, the reimagined score, it's lovely. It's different. I think the original score is better. It's still better, far better. In fact, I do like the main theme is very nice with the slower build. Some things like the Water Palace's theme is very nice. The Empire theme, Gold City themes are very good. I like those. They really stand out. Ones that don't stand out are the Lofty Mountains. That's kind of lost its sort of vigour. The Into the Thick of It, the famous music as you're going through the woodlands near Potos Village and Kipper Village. That is, they changed the instruments. I don't like the fact they've changed the instruments. I think they've changed. Yeah, they changed the guitar for the xylophone, and they've changed the flute for the accordion. No, bring back the guitar and the flute, please. Much better piece of music that is. Yeah, but apart from but you can switch between the two, so that's fine. You can switch between the two. It's entirely up to you. And I like listening to the new score to see what they've done with it, so I'm playing it through with the new score. Same with the voice acting. I don't see what this problem is. People have English subtitles coming up. Why have they got a problem with that? I don't care whether it's got Japanese subtitles or because everything was obviously in boxes in the original. So I don't understand why people are having this problem with voice acting. I mean, voice acting at the best of times in any bloody computer game is a bit clunky. It's never perfect. I mean, I remember playing Soul Weaver 2 and thinking, my word, this voice acting is like real, the hammiest of ham you can have. These thesps have got employed to do this. But it's just, again, becomes pretty funny when you go with the theming of it. A few voices don't really match the characters, that's fine. Most do. I think the voices for the three main characters are perfectly good. A few strange pauses here and there, but I just think that's to do with a bit of clunky editing here and there. You can switch them off if you want. You don't have them on. You can have them talk them in Japanese. Whatever, the options are there. It's entirely up to you. Again, it's not a big deal. I don't see this huge hoo-ha about it. Why is it so bad? It's not. It's not at all. It's just an improvement. It's there if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, we'll turn it fucking off. And then you'll play it just with the text boxes like the original. It's simple. You get all the benefits for the old game. You do. You get all the gameplay. You get the whole story. You get the character development. You get the mechanics. You get the weapons. You get the armor. You get everything you get from the original, plus a little bit more. Apart from things like the cannon travel animation scene and stuff like that, and maybe the experience of flying Flammy for the first time. I don't say this is all I'm saying. I'm not going to say it's going to be better. I've got too many nostalgic feelings and love for the original game, so I'm not going to say it's better. But I'm still going to say it's bloody good, and I'm happy I bought it. I really am. I'm really enjoying playing it, and I think it's lovely to have this new artwork with this absolutely legendary classic design, with some really nice new drawings they've done for the main characters. Really nice stuff. I think it's good. Maybe it was made on a budget. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck whether it was made on a budget or not. I really, really like it, and I think you will too. So all these people slagging it off, I don't get what you're trying to expect. I really don't. I really don't know what you're trying to expect, because I don't know. I wanted it to be like the original, follow the original storyline with a better graphics and make it look like it was made in this decade, and that's what it does. It's exactly what it does. It hasn't changed anything big, and a lot of people say, well, that's the reason, you know, they should have changed them. They should have made changes. They have to make changes. Why? It's a remake. If a remake is a remake by its own words, it will be exactly the same as the original, just look better and sound a little bit better, and a few little bits here have been tweaked. In this, they've tweaked a few things. You've got the autosave feature, it's really nice. Oh, one thing I'm going to mention about the AI as well. Sometimes in the original, when the AI gets stuck, you can only walk to the confines where the AI is, so you can't move off screen. In this, however, they've done away with that. If they get stuck, you can run off somewhere. You can control in Randy, you can run off somewhere, and you'll leave them behind. Pull the ring menu up when they're out of shot, and they'll instantly teleport back to you. I like that. It's a nice little sort of get around the fact that the AI characters do get stuck, so they were kind of aware of that in the original. So again, that is actually an improvement. There's many improvements on the original. It isn't better than the original, certainly the music isn't better, and it hasn't got that kind of sort of charm and grace that the original has. It certainly hasn't got that. If it was just a passing, you know, a passing person would just think, oh, it's just another one of those run around cutesy RPGs, and it is cute. It's got a lot of cuteness about it. They wouldn't know. But for me, as a super fan of the original, it's perfect. It's not perfect, but it's exactly what I expected it to be. Exactly what I expected it to be, warts and all. Just patch that bloody cannon travel sequence in, patch out the thing so it stops crashing, and then I'll be happy, Square, and I'm sure everyone else would. So, that's my opinion on the Secret of Mana remake. Bit of a rant, that one, but I had to get that out because I've been watching a lot of stuff, people slagging it off, and I thought, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. So I'm going to have my 2 cents. I'm going to go and play Secret of Mana. You know that? I'm going to go and play it now. Cheers. Novabug. Out.